What's up, everybody, and welcome here to a very special Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on site, on location at Marywood University. Surprise! It's my birthday week, and I decided to not just have Pacer Pride as we typically we'll be bringing you editions all throughout every single month here coming up, but to be on campus, on site, on location, and it was important for me to do it now on the heels of practice beginning. I'm here with Jen Carleton of the women's basketball team, the head coach of the Marywood Pacers women's team. And Jen, how are we doing today?
Good, how are you? Happy early birthday.
Thank you, I appreciate it very much so. So as you know, with Pacer Pride, we are here with you at least once a month. We just had Executive Director of Athletics, Pat Murphy, start things off here. And it was important, like I said, for me to surprise you here. And I like doing that. I think, on your birthday, people expect that you get gifts. I like to give things. So it was nice to kind of shoot you and Enrico a message and say, guess what? I'm going to be on campus and would love to have you out here. So we're here in the Hall of Fame room, got this awesome backdrop that I'm going to take when I leave. Don't tell anybody. And very much looking forward to what we're going to be able to talk about. So happy to be back with you. And I can't believe that we are actually at a place where, God willing, we can have a normal season.
I can't wait. It's been too long. We obviously didn't play last year, so just to be out on the court with the girls this year it's been awesome so far. 4 practices in, and we're really excited.
Yeah, and to look at the fact that everybody got to start off on October 15th.
Yeah.
So what was that moment like for you? How did you celebrate the return to practice?
We talked with our team. We had meetings leading up. We talked to our captains and our leaders and our returners just about the expectation of how we want to run things and just the energy level. And I think that the more energy we have, the better off we're going to be. So we celebrated it with being in the gym together, being loud, having each other's back, having good company around us, and just getting better. So every day has been a little bit better than the last, and that's what it's supposed to be about. So I'm happy so far.
To know everything that we've been through the last 18 months, for you as a coach, how did you handle it? How did you find a way to navigate through it?
You just have to figure it out. I mean, it has not been easy, obviously, and just like every other coach, across the world, it hasn't been easy to navigate. But if you have good people around you, if you have the right vision, if you know what your end game is, your end goal is, I think that's the best way to handle some things, is just to take it day by day, minute by minute for the most part, because in the last 18 months, it was very hard to plan, because you plan something and the next day everything gets changed or gets messed up, or you have to figure things out. So we've even taken that into our practices. The last 4 days is, adjustments. That's life. Making adjustments, getting on. Trying to just change some things. That's what we have to do in order to be successful. So sometimes world throws some things at you, and you just have to do your best to adjust, and that's what we've been doing.
How do you think you've gotten better as an individual? How, not just as a coach, but as a person, how have you found a way to excel, so to speak?
I think just getting out of your comfort zone was huge. I mean, it's hard to stay in the house the whole time and not do much. It's hard to be limited in how you're able to interact and socialize. But also can look at yourself and say, this is a time to grow as an individual, whether it be reading more books, whether it be changing your perspective on some things, whether it be, reaching out to people you haven't talked to in a while, just trying to see the world a different way. There's so many different opportunities without, just being, studying something, just to kind of open your mind up and making sure you're seeing things in a different light. I think that's really important.
For you, no coach could have prepared for something like this. No. How did you speak to the team? How did you keep the team together? How did you try to establish some sense of family in such a difficult time?
Lots of Zoom calls, lots of interacting with our leaders to make sure that they're staying in touch with the team, getting everybody together, doing things out of the public eye, behind the scenes. It's important that they were reaching out to each other, and we had them write essays about this and that, and something they overcame, and something positive about what they're going through. Just trying to change the perspective, because everything in life is tough, no matter what it is, and it's how you look at it that'll get you to the next spot. So I'm a big believer, and I think we've talked about this before, that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
We don't know what those reasons are, and we probably never will. But we just have to learn from them and adjust, and that's what life is about.
So for you, what got you through it? Was there a show or two, phone calls that maybe you made with the family? What helped you to get through it? What was kind of your survival kit to the pandemic, I guess I would call it?
I learned some new art things. I'm not really an artist at all, but when you're stuck at home, you try to find anything that you can possibly do. So learned to work with resin a little bit more. Just little things. I got one of those Cricut machines, so I was doing a lot of those kind of activities, just trying to keep myself busy, keep my mind busy, and send gifts that that I could send to people, or make gifts that I could send to people, just to let them know that I'm thinking about them, regardless of where we're at in the country. Just be able to send something off, or just be active and involved. Felt good.
So how did the team respond? How were you able to, I mean, you got hired, October 1st, right before the pandemic.
Yep, October.
So, because we kind of got hit here in the country like January-ish.
Mm-hmm.
So you get hired right before it happens, and your first experience coming out of, you get hired, you really don't have the time to recruit. Then you go through a pandemic, it really can't recruit. So how do you build a program when there's obstructions to the road, so to speak, that you had no control over?
Find a way to stay positive, find a way to to build our foundation, regardless of the fact that it's it's a little shattered at this point. But sometimes you have to knock something over in order to rebuild it the way it's supposed to be, and that's what we're doing right now. No one expected anything what the world was the last 18 months, 19 months. But we're navigating through, we're figuring it out, and maybe a little bit different than usual. It was amazing to finally get out and recruit in person this summer, to see some AAU tournaments, be able to travel a little bit, see people live. That was huge. Not being able to be in the gym with our team and other teams as well, really kind of, it hurt us. It definitely hurt us, and it hurt our growth, trying to get to where we want to be. But like I said, we figure it out. You have good people around you that you can surround yourself with, that's going to have the positive energy that we need to build this. And that's what we do. We're focusing on the little things, so the big things become second nature.
What are the big things?
Making sure that we have the right attitude, staying on top of things, being dedicated and committed to the growth of our program, just seeing the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is, we're building something, and it takes a lot to build something, and it takes a long time, and it takes the right mentality, and it takes the right attitude. And celebrating the small victories are what's going to be important for us in our big victory growth. So just not forgetting that when we complete a practice, when we do the little things, when we have energy, when we make a sprint at the right time, we can't forget to celebrate the little things in order for our team to grow.
Here with Jen Carleton, the head coach of Marywood University's women's basketball program, as we're here with a very special edition of Pacer Pride inside of our multimedia marketing partnership with Marywood University, and very happy to be here with you, as this was a true bonus that we got to do in our first month. We started officially, kind of ironic here, as you talk about when you started things. You started at Marywood on October 1st. We started our multimedia partnership here on October 1st of 2021. So happy to be able to start things off with Executive Director of Athletics, Pat Murphy, and now to be able to bring you a special on-site, on-campus, on location here overlooking the basketball court. To be back at practice at this point, you started on Friday the 15th. We're here on Monday the 18th, so 4 days of practice. What do you appreciate the most that maybe you didn't as a coach before, when the game was taken away from everybody? When you walk onto the court and you get ready to start practice, what is something that maybe you appreciate more now?
I definitely just appreciate being social again, just being able to be around people and share a smile and a laugh, and not having to wait that half a second for your computer to load up, or Zoom to kick in, or the little static you get every once in a while. But just to see people interacting and socializing and being happy and smiling, first couple of days of practice are obviously, it's fun to be out there with your team. It's great
Yeah.
to be able to grow, and it is going to be tough at times, and we all know that, and the girls all know that. But they knew that to get through the hard times, we just have to stick together and have great energy. So just be able to hear the laughter in the gym, being able to see their faces, and just be around them. Obviously, I'm way older than them, but just to have that youth around you is always fun.
How would you describe the makeup of the team? As we spoke about coming on to the program when you did, it was really just go into the season, and they weren't players that you had recruited, and then you go through a pandemic, so obviously there's difficulty there. So how would you describe the makeup of the team? As normally, you talk about a coach saying this is your first class, this is your second class, but we're kind of putting together your first class still.
Yeah, we're definitely putting together our first class still, which is crazy to think, but this is my second full year, calendar year.
Yeah.
But in reality, I still have not been on campus a full year yet, which has been crazy. So just trying to pick up those pieces. But I'm really excited about our team this year. I think that our leadership, our returners, they all have the right mentality. And the 4 returners that we have are all 4 very different leaders. So they can all bring something a little bit different to the table, and I think that's really important for the makeup of our team. And it's important for all the newcomers that are joining our team to see so many different ways of leading. Everybody, a lot of people have that perception that a leadership is just leader has to be loud, and they have to be, in the forefront. They have to make sure that you're visible. Sometimes they don't need that. Sometimes there's that quiet leader. Sometimes the leader that pulls them off to the side when no one else knows. Sometimes there's that one that might have to be a little bit tougher on someone.
Yeah.
But there's also that one that'll come over and give you a hug and tell you that you're doing a great job. So we have a really good balance of leaders and our leadership on the team, and I'm excited to watch those girls grow as well, because this is the first time they're in that situation as well.
Can you start to see some leadership coming through with the team that you have?
Absolutely. Like I said, those 4 girls are really 4 returners have really shown how committed they are to our team, how committed they are to their personal growth, and how committed they are to our team growth as well. And every day they put our team before themselves, and I think that's huge. And we keep saying, surround yourself with the energy that you want to be around. Be the energy that you want to be around. And I think that our girls are so far they're pushing through, and they're doing exactly what we need to do. Sometimes miss some layups, get discouraged in practice. We had foul shooting today, and we weren't doing that well. And the gym never got silent. It never got negative. It stayed up and stayed positive and stayed reinforcing. And that's how we have to be this year in order for us to be successful. Because like I said, success isn't just measured in wins and losses. It's measured in happiness and smiling faces and coming back and being dedicated and just putting the team first. And that's what they're doing.
How do you view success this season, knowing that you are trying to build a program the way that you want to? You're trying to create your culture, you're trying to create your environment. You're coming out of a pandemic, you haven't been on campus for a calendar year. With all the things that have been against the growth, so to speak, how do you measure success this year?
I think we measure it by every single day. Are we better than we were yesterday in some way, sense, or form? Whether it's mental, whether it's physical, whether it's just knocking down more shots one day, whether it's just having better energy than we did the day before. Whatever the case may be, our success is going to be measured by where we are right now and where we're going to be in a couple months. And I know, just from the first 4 days of practice, we've already taken the steps necessary to be better every day. And just to be able to get in there in the gym with each other, have the right mentality, be around each other in terms of socially, personality, just having everybody be able to be themselves, not closed off, and the entire team on the same level. I think that's how we're going to measure this year.
For your recruiting going forward, how excited are you to have hopefully an actual just recruiting trail moment where you can be a coach and recruit normally and go out and see games and watch film and talk to parents and talk to these young women and have your first kind of step to the plate when it comes to recruiting?
I can't wait. I'm so excited. We have a great base right now. We're hopefully closing in on a couple commitments. within the next couple weeks. And I think that we're going to have really good success. I think everybody that we're looking at, everybody that we have made an offer to join our team to, can bring something amazing to the table. Whether it's 100% basketball IQ, whether it's height, whether it's physicality, whether it's a shot, whether it's putting all of those things together. I think that we have a really good base, and I'm excited to finally get a bigger class in here so we can get something started.
As you look for these commitments, where are you trying to dig your roots into, so to speak, for the Pacers, for women's basketball? What does the recruiting trail look like?
It's a little bit all over the place, which is good. We have, of course, I got the Jersey in me, so I'm going out to Jersey a little bit. We're actually out in Syracuse a little bit out there. I'm trying to do a lot local. I'm trying to get some local talent here so we can really showcase, the area and, do what we have to do in terms of, there's so many great local schools right here. I want to be able to compete with all of them. So getting local talent, I think, is really important. But we want good basketball players. We want better people, and that's what we're looking for.
What has been the greatest challenge for you besides the pandemic and everything else we talked about? What has been the greatest challenge of taking over this program, this next chapter for you?
Just the fact that we're not changing everything, we're building stuff.
Yeah.
And to be able to build it, you kind of have to, like we said, knock it down a little bit, and to get, to navigate through the crumble and the rumble, trying to get it to where you want to be. And, when you knock something down, you also have to remove it. You can't just build on top of what was knocked down. So you kind of have to push it to the side and regrow it, rebuild everything from the bottom up. So that's what we're trying to do. And I think that it's tough, but it's tough for everyone in every situation. And obviously the pandemic was, not helpful, but, no coaches ever really got where they were, where they want to go, with a lot of excuses. So we're trying not to have those. We're just trying to build forward and stay positive, and one day at a time. But I think we have a great group of girls to work with, and I think that our recruiting base is exactly where it has to be.
So you said you're up in Syracuse a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
How's that been for you?
It's good. It's been a nice trip. Not too bad at all. I'm sure you're used to
exactly
making that.
2 hours.
Yep, not too bad. Definitely not too bad. It's an easy ride, and it's very pretty this time of year. So
it is. It looks like Fruity Pebbles when you're when you're driving. I'm always looking for the blue. There's no blue, but I ask because if somebody's not treating you good up there, you need to let me know.
Oh, I definitely will. Trust me.
I hold the keys to that city.
Good.
So make sure that everything's good up there. But no, I mean it's great. I mean, you and I have, and it is interesting at the time that we're talking now in this special Pacer Pride here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora from inside of the Hall of Fame room here overlooking the basketball court for Marywood men's and women's basketball, and of course here with the head coach of the women's basketball team, Jen Carleton. That the first time we spoke, we were discussing what your era would look like and what it would feel like, and in a very unique way, we're kind of still doing that. We're still. I feel like I'm almost saying, "Hey, coach, like welcome to the school." You know what I mean? And
it still feels that way to me. Trust me.
So I mean, it's been kind of a long welcome, but for you to be where you are right now, and like you said, you have to build things the way you want to build them. Where were the pieces of the foundation that you thought, I want to focus here first. I want to go here. I want to do this. I don't see this as maybe something I want to keep. Like, what pieces did you really say to yourself, okay, that's a crack in the foundation, and I can't afford to let that sit there, and I can't just come up to it and try to, put some cement in there or something like that because I know it's going to fall off?
I think just the mentality of, we over me is huge, and just keeping that, that mentality of us first. And, if I have individual growth, we are going to be successful. So the harder I work to make our situation better, it's only going to help us in the long run. And just having that mentality is huge for our team. And I think that's a huge foundation builder for us, is making sure it's, the attitude is the right way, the demeanor is the right way, and our overall approach is, us is way greater than me. And I think one day at a time is what we're trying to do. And if every day we come in with that mentality, I know that we're going to get better. And I know that we're going to be committed to the cause. And the girls talked about it the first day. We brought them in and we say, I'm not big on a lot of rules. I feel like a lot of rules can pull you back, but I did want to make some kind of commitment statement or commitment contract. So the girls came in and we said, what are we committed to? And they talked about committing to our we first attitude, committing about, not having, a negative attitude about anything. That you're not going to be happy about everything that we do, but if we can get it done together and communicate about what issues need to be fixed, we worked around, everything can get fixed. Everything is fixable with communication. And I think that's really what our mentality has to be, and that's what that's where the biggest cracks were, and that's what we're focusing on right now.
Yeah, and I love it. I love that you're looking at what's in the foundation and you're changing it, and it takes such a leader to do that. Like I know that there's probably some sleepless nights and some craziness that goes on with this, but I want you to know that it's not an easy thing. I mean, as I'm sure you know, but it's not an easy thing to do what you're doing. It's easy to come in and say, put duct tape on it. It's easy to come in and say, put some Elmer's glue on it, or just, shove some aluminum foil in that hole, and let's just hope that, that keeps the heat in. Yeah. So, I think it needs to be known that although it may not show up on the court initially, that at least you have the confidence, the strength, and the desire to create something that you think will last. And I don't think that people say thank you enough for that, so I appreciate that.
Thank you. I appreciate that as well, because and the girls are the ones that are putting forth that effort and making the initial adjustments that we have to. We talk about it as a team, obviously, and my job as a leader is to bring it to the forefront, but it's their job to put action to that, and they're doing a great job, and I couldn't be more proud of what they're doing and how they're focusing on the little things in order for us to be successful.
You made mention of the fact that you are a Jersey girl.
Through and through.
So is that movie an important movie to you?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. Not
okay.
at all. It
okay.
really isn't. I think just the Jersey mentality is important to me, and having that little bit of an edge, that little bit of a swag, that little bit of a, we're going to tell it how it is. And like I said, if my mouth doesn't say it, my face will. I can't control that as much as I would like to. The masks have helped me the last 18 months a little bit. Yeah. But at the same time, I think just like I said, having that little bit of edge and that little bit of swagger is important. So then that's what we look for in our players as well. I love players that play with a chip on their shoulder. So
when you're out there recruiting and trying to spread the message and going to these different places and whatnot, how are you selling the program?
Selling the program we're in a position right now that we are building it from the ground up, and that you are in a position to come in and immediately impact our team. And I think that that's a huge sell. A lot of people pick a school based off of how much playing time they believe that they can get, and I'm never one to guarantee anything, but I'm also one to say the opportunity is there for you to take advantage of. So I think that's huge, and I also think that just having so many majors and such a positive, family atmosphere here at Marywood. It's important to young female student athletes to be able to surround it by people who care about the same things they do, and we have that here, and we're very fortunate about that.
Marywood University, very excited to be here. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media, proud multimedia marketing partner of Marywood University's Pacers Athletics, and we're here for a special on-site on location with the two basketball programs today, starting things off with Jen Carleton. How do you feel about the fact that you got to get here before Enrico?
Well, we had early practice this morning, so I've been here since 5, so that's perfectly fine with me. I was glad to go first, but Enrico's doing a great job with his team. I hang out at the top here and watch some of their practices sometimes. They have great energy. They seem to be really excited about what's coming up for them, and I'm really excited about what's coming up for them too. I think they're going to have a great year.
We look at the fact that you have, with your schedule coming up, non-conference-wise, just a bunch of different teams all over the place here. Lebanon Valley, you have your exhibition against Penn College, but Lebanon Valley, University of Scranton, FDU Florham, SUNY Delhi that I know well up in New York. Then you have the Cross Country Challenge hosted by Scranton with Wilkes University and King's College. You have Penn State Hazleton and SUNY Delhi again, Susquehanna University, Rutgers Newark, Keystone College. You know, a lot of these awesome games coming up before you kind of jump into conference play. How important was it for you to really stack your non-conference and see what you're like against teams that you don't see all the time?
I mean, we had our schedule done for last year, and unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to execute it. So I really wanted to keep a lot of the same teams, just because we had that contract, and it's important to me to stick with things that were done, that were done ahead of time. So we really tried to make our non-conference schedule kind of local, obviously, as well too, being that the pandemic as well. So and my first year starting out, we had 7 away games to start out how I was going to be. So the first season, so it was tough. It was definitely tough. 7 away games on the road to start out the year. So we definitely tried to get some more home games in there and try to get us, feeling good about our home court early.
You have games this season against the last 2 Marywood women's basketball head coaches and a former Marywood women's basketball player. You'll have Tara Machaco, former coach here at Marywood, when you play Wilkes. You'll have Gabby Holko when you play Susquehanna. And then you'll have former Marywood player Caitlin Hodge Mahalis when you play Kings. What's that little tour going to be like for you?
That's awesome. I mean, everybody's great. We all get along great. We see each other recruiting all over the place. We're probably recruiting a lot of the same people, which is good. Good and bad, obviously, but good that we're all on the same page with those things. But great people, great coaches, better people. Just nice, good to be around, and nice to have that good relationship. You never want animosity for no reason, and we just want to. We're all coaches, and we're all fighting for the same thing, and we all want to win and be successful. But I think we all know that being a better person, being the right kind of person for your team is way more important than the wins and losses. And I think that everybody that you just mentioned really understands that.
Yeah, you have home and home with SUNY Delhi, as I said. What was the importance of having that and making sure that they're coming to see you, you're going to see them?
Well, we played them 2 years ago. It was a great game. We had them scheduled for last year twice as well, just trying to fill up our schedule. So we did it again this year, and I think it's going to be good for us. We played them at late November and then again early in December. So a quick kind of turnaround, but at least we get a home and home out of it, and I think it'll be a good time for us to see where we're at.
So this schedule for you, like you said, last year I didn't get to do. Obviously you didn't get to have what you wanted, as many coaches did not. So you try to keep everything together here. One of the other games I saw in here, and this red R, I can't help it, but in my blood it makes me super mad from my hometown. But I respect what they're doing. They just played Syracuse on the football field, defeated them with Greg Schiano's return to Rutgers here. But the Rutgers-Newark game that you have on the road in Newark, New Jersey, this feels like a Jen needs to go back to Jersey. We'll see Rutgers. They're like, how important was it to have Rutgers on here?
It was great to have. I know Ashley, the head coach. She was an assistant at Holy Family when I was down at Goldie Beacom. So I have a relationship with her and be able to kind of reach out and say, hey, you want to play this game? And we were both into it. We're both excited. We already put her on the schedule for next year as well. So I'm looking forward to it.
Are they coming here?
Yep, they're going to come here next year.
So is this like kind of a little gift for you that you get to? Maybe. I know you want to beat them, but it's to have Rutgers Newark on the schedule.
Yeah, it's great. It really is great. And we have 2 Jersey girls this year, so hopefully their family will be able to make that trip, and not too far from where they are. So just nice to be able to get to different areas. We haven't played them since I've been here, so let's try something new.
Is there anything in future schedules? Are there any teams that you're very excited about that maybe we're not used to seeing?
Not as of right now, I don't think. Nothing that is too far out of the norm. Okay. Probably have 1 or 2 more left to schedule. We have the idea of who we want. We just have to make sure that it works with people's schedule. But I don't think there's any more surprises or any big surprises out there yet. Hope maybe we can get an exhibition game. I'll keep working for one of those. But
see, now coaches don't, at certain levels, don't get to be involved maybe as much as they want to be. At Division III, you are putting this thing together.
Yeah.
Do you, I mean, is that something about Division III that you value, the fact that you can actually have control over your schedule?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when I was at Division II, we did the same thing. We were able to make our own schedule. So I think it comes down to, you know, what you want to get out of the year and where you kind of want to go. If you want to stay local, you want to have more home games, away games. But, you know, every year is a little bit different, and you kind of don't know what the exact setup will be. So you just try to put your best foot forward, try to get the best variety of teams, whether they play fast, up-tempo, a little bit slower, and I think that'll get you ready for our conference play. Our conference is tough. I mean, we have a bunch of different styles of play, so I think the more variety you can play in the up-tempo game or a slow-down pace, I think it's just going to help you. So try to put ourselves in different situations so we're ready for when it really counts.
The Atlantic East, I just had the opportunity to speak with Commissioner Jessica Huntley again. She came back onto the show in a thing called Commissioner Connection, where I've spoken with commissioners all over the country. What do you like about Jessica Huntley?
I think putting it together and making sure she's on every call too. We had a women's basketball call not too long ago, and she was right there making sure that, you know, she's asking questions of us just as much as we were asking questions of her. So we want to learn from each other, and I think that's a quality of a good leader.
And for this conference, it was so unique with Marywood, and as you came in, obviously there was this transitioning, but the creation with realignment and everything going on with conferences at all different divisions in athletics for college, we see the institution of the Atlantic East. Marywood is a founding member, one of the original 7, so to speak, and it's kind of cool because it's a Catholic university, and they can call it, and it's just funny how there was the Catholic 7 that became the Big East. So we look at the Atlantic East and what they have done, and the Marywood's part in this. There was sacrifice that Marywood had to make. The first 2 years, you don't have an automatic qualifier for the tournament, so there's that piece to it. And there's also the fact that this pandemic comes in, and so you come out of that, okay, now the qualifier is finally instituted, we can go to the tournament through this conference now, and then here comes a pandemic. It's been a lot of growth, it's been a lot of adversity, but what does it feel like for you to oversee a program that's in a conference where you're making the initial history of the conference? Like, you are, Marywood is a part of what the Atlantic East identity is becoming.
It's exciting, it really is, and just to watch, you know, the growth of the whole division right from the start, whether it's basketball, you know, soccer, softball, whatever the case may be, just to see the different institutions and how we're going to continue to get better, and everybody's on the same page, and everybody has the right mentality, and everybody wants what's best for the league, not just for themselves. And I think that shows a good quality league in terms of what happens in the long run. So.
Jen Carleton here with us in the Cafe Kubal Travel Studios. It is our Marywood University special day here on the heels of practice beginning and the season right around the corner. Marywood basketball on the women's side with Jen Carleton coming up in just a few minutes. Enrico Mastroianni for the men's team with Pacer Pride, our spotlight special. So get to know that. You know the hashtag and the name of the broadcast that Wake Up Call does with Marywood, also entitled Pacer Pride, to keep that going and that consistency and that parallel. Before I let you go, Jen, name, image, and likeness, NIL, Division I, Division II, Division III, it exists, it is here, it is real. What do you think about it? Does amateurism still exist? Is the NCAA Division III the purest form of collegiate athletics? How do you see everything?
Division III is definitely the purest form of athletics, I believe, and people are playing out of the pure love for the game, pure commitment to the game, and dedication. I think that doesn't get any better than that. You play for the right reasons. You don't play because of a scholarship or this or that, but you play to get, because you love it. You play because someone put a ball in your hands when you were 7 or 8, and you can't get rid of it. You can't put it down, and you also want to get a great education while doing something that you love to do. And I think that's just, it's irreplaceable, and it's something that it really takes a special person to be able to do it. But at the same time, you're going to get so many benefits out of it. It's going to be such a great long-term benefit for you. Good for resumes, good for all of those things, but it's good for your soul, it's good for your heart, it's good for your mind, and that's really important. But I also think that having the is really important. It's important to be able to have that, and I do think that some of these higher athletes, Division One, should be getting something off of that because of their name and because of their, the likeness of them. Like you said, if the school's getting something off of them, the kids should as well. Especially when they're putting so much forth, so much effort. When we all know, if you go to Division One, it's a full-time job almost. So they have their whole probably 18 hours out of their day planned out for them. So they should be getting something out of that.
The fact that it exists for all three divisions, do you talk to your team about it at all?
We did talk about it. We've talked about it earlier when we had compliance meetings about it. Not really more than anything, just this is here, this is here, this is what we have. But at the same time, a lot of our girls are building something themselves, whether it's architecture major or graphic design. They're starting things on their own. So, as they start it, we can start to expand as well and start to be able to help them out with some things. And I think that's important. It's important for, our overall scheme. And I think it's important for D3 just to be able to say, we have so many different hands in different places, and it's important for us to be able to grow that way. And that's how you're going to become a overall better person for, the real world when you get out of college.
Should Division III be able to give scholarships?
It's a tough question. I coached at D2, and it was great to be able to say, here's some money, and here's for this, for your time, for your effort, for your dedication, for the fact that you are not a normal college student. But at the same time, it does put a lot of pressure on you too. It does put a lot of extra worry on you, but keeping the scholarship, what do I have to do to maintain this and that? Just coming in and constantly competing. So I think that it's back and forth, and I think there's some positives and negatives to both. But at the same time, if you're playing for the love of the game, regardless of whether you're getting a scholarship or not, you're going to be successful.
Some good answers here, concise. Didn't know that they were coming yet. I like the responses here. What do you want the community of Scranton, Pennsylvania, Northeast PA, and overall the country and the world to know about Marywood women's basketball? If you could put a statement out, a press release, something to tell us, hey, this is what 2021 and 2022 is looking like. This is what this season itself is going to be. What would you say?
I would say pay attention to not whether the ball goes in the hoop every single time or not, but what is our mentality like? What is our demeanor like? What is our, when something positive happens, how is our reaction? If something negative happens, what is our reaction? And it should be pretty consistent based off of, what we're trying to build here. And, we know our long-term goal is to get better and better and better, to continue to build. So this stays around for years and years and years to come. And we're building a tradition, and building a tradition doesn't happen in 2 or 3 weeks. It happens over a long span of time with the right people around you, with the right mentality. So it takes a lot of individual pieces to line up. And we are doing what we can to line up those individual pieces the best we can. And I'm just really excited about showcasing their effort, their mentality, the way they view the world, the way they view each other, and the way they view leadership. And I think that that's really, really what I want to show everyone is just how much love and dedication they have to each other to make our team better this year.
What makes you so ready, energized, and excited about taking on the task of truly building something, like you said, and you can't leave the foundation. You got to kind of knock it all down and build a new house. Why do you think you're prepared to do that?
I love coaching. I love basketball, I should say. I love basketball, but there's something about watching a person grow. It's great to be able to say, okay, this person went, shoots 25% from the three-point line, and then by the end of their career, they're shooting 45. That's one thing. But to be able to watch them come in as a little awkward, little scared, little intimidated about what's, the next steps are, and to have them graduate, walk across that stage with a diploma, with their shoulders back, with that pride, beaming out of their face. That's why I have confidence in knowing that we can build something, because we've seen people change their mentality in terms of life, not just basketball, and having that right focus to be a better person, not just a basketball player. That's what we all want to be, and if we can do that together, I think we're going to be really successful. And I'm confident in our girls' approach that we're going to get there.
Coming here from Jen Carleton, the women's basketball head coach here at Marywood University for the Pacers, as Wake Up Call is on site, on location, live with you from Marywood University. And we have Enrico Mastroianni coming up next. Jen, as always, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Happy early birthday again.
Thank you very much. And my best to, and obviously I'll be around and I'll be watching and we'll be talking, but I look forward to seeing what your house looks like as you build it.
Thank you very much. You're welcome anytime.
Thank you. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you.
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have at any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
Our corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success in Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also I think we recognized that, we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career. It's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Cafe Cabal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafecabal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Cabal needs. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. And welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on WakeUpCallDT.com, your one-stop sports shop, as well as on MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT, and of course here with you where sports meets life on Facebook.com/LiveNowDT, shared on Facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT, and on YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT. So a lot of great stuff here with you today as we have found our way to Facebook, found our way to YouTube, found our way to MixLR. You get your own mic today. And we are here with Enrico Mastroianni of the men's basketball team at Marywood University for a very special Pacer Pride. How are you, sir?
I'm well, Dan. Thank you again. It's always a pleasure to be with you, man. Excited you're here.
No, I appreciate being here in the Hall of Fame room. I said, and I don't know if I should, publicly just kind of let Pat know, but I'm taking this. So, I hope there's a second one in the closet somewhere. But I feel like I need to do public addresses with this behind me.
This would look good on your show behind the
right?
screen. Yeah, definitely. You got a little apparel. You got some banners. Now you put the big backdrop.
Yeah, I think I got apparel from you 2 years ago, so I'm still waiting.
Was that
a little bit more? Yeah.
Okay. Right.
No, actually, Enrico's been great. This is one of the things that Enrico, brought here to celebrate. So you've done very well with your stuff. You're not as bad as DeAndre Smith. Texas Tech. So, yeah, DeAndre, in the time that he was supposed to get me apparel, he switched jobs and went from Utah State to Texas Tech. So I never got my Utah State stuff.
Now clause, that's it.
Yeah, now clause. But, no, Enrico's been great, and we're happy to be here. As you know, every single month, Pacer Pride is the name of our Spotlight Special. There's a Marywood page on WakeUpCallDT.com. There's Marywood connections on our social media, on Facebook at WakeUpCallDT, Twitter at CallDT, and Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT. And what I mean by that is we promote different things that are going on, players of the week, games that are coming up, schedules and whatnot. So a lot of great stuff on our social media, on WakeUpCallDT.com. And of course, every single month, Pacer Pride Spotlight Special comes to you. But this month of October, when we officially started our multimedia marketing partnership, we gave you our Pacer Pride with Executive Director of Athletics, Pat Murphy. This is a bonus coming to you, having Marywood women's basketball with Jen Carleton and now men's basketball with Enrico Mastroianni. So a very big little surprise here in my birthday week to come to Marywood University and make sure we did something else.
This wasn't just because you wanted a birthday gift.
It is. Enrico and I are going to pick something out after the show. So there's a Mercedes dealer here, right?
Yeah.
I think so. You'll give me some sheets. Sheets is good.
Yeah.
We'll go
sheets, we'll get a wrap. Yeah,
we'll get a wrap at sheets. Yeah. But no, we're very happy to be able to do this bonus special and spoke with Pat Murphy, and get a little surprise for you and Jen to say, hey, you guys just started practice. Yeah. I feel like not only do I want to do a show, but I want to physically be here. So I drove my behind here this morning and made sure that we did something special as we overlooked the court here in the Hall of Fame room.
Yeah, no, it's a special time of year. Obviously, we started up practice on Friday, and it's always exciting that the weather starts to change. It's coincidental, but not. It's intentional, right? As soon as we start practice, you start to smell the crisp air, and you see the leaves falling down, and it's time to start practice, and the season is underway. And here we are. Today's a cool day.
Today is supposed to be a sunny, hot, and humid 50, I think. I looked at the thing, and I'm looking at Syracuse. I'm looking at Scranton because they're 2 hours away from each other, and I'm looking at it, and I'm going, okay, Syracuse is supposed to be 48, and then it's supposed to be like 50 in Scranton. And then I looked for the rest of the week, and it's supposed to be like a little bit warmer, and then it's 50s.
Yeah, it drops. Yeah.
So it's crazy because we've been having, in the Northeast, we've been having 70s and 80s for weeks.
Right.
That it's become so weird that we've had kind of like, I call it Florida light, right. And now we're having like normal fall weather where, I can live in 65 to 70. I can live like 65, 70, somewhere around there my entire year.
Yeah.
And because my favorite weather is shorts and a sweatshirt.
Sure.
That's my favorite. Yeah. So, what are the sweater weather, but I want to be able to still wear shorts and sneakers. So.
Well, we've been spoiled, and I think it was inevitable that we were going to get hit with the reality stick here and the cool weather coming in, and we'll embrace it because, like I said, that means basketball's here. So.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things to talk about here now that we have Enrico Mastroianni hanging out with us of the men's basketball program. A lot of important topics, a lot of big things. What did you think of Loki?
We loved it. We loved it. It was a family event for us. We watched it religiously, and we didn't get caught up on What If yet. We're still behind on that, but we'll see how it goes. That was a little bit rough for the kids. I was trying to keep them away from that one.
What If is kind of setting up the multiverse.
Yeah, no,
everything is.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, Far From Home is. We have WandaVision is. Loki is, right. And now the reality that What If is kind of showing us. Hey, in these other universes, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
So there is the thought, and I wanted this to happen, but there's the thought that Ultron will come back because he was too weak of a villain.
Yeah. No, I bet there's more of a story to what he's up to.
So there could be an Ultron. We know there's a White Vision somewhere from WandaVision.
Right.
So rank them. WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki. First, second, third.
It's tough. I guess I'd go Loki, WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Okay. All right. So you thought Falcon and Winter... That was your least favorite.
Well, it was just too short for me. There wasn't enough content in it, So...
Yeah, no, WandaVision was hard for some people that the first two episodes, there really was no glitch.
Right.
It was just watching like an old TV show.
Yeah.
But then there became a change, and there was a glitch, and we started to see some things happen. And when we see Miss Rambo fly through the prism or whatever it is, that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was going, it turned in the right direction. The problem is the way it ended, I think, was left some fans kind of, wanting more. It didn't finish the story. So.
Well, she has the Darkhold in her hands now, which is only going to make things horrible.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. I guess.
Did you like how I twisted that though? I was like basketball. So many questions. Loki.
You can tell we haven't talked in a little while, right?
We haven't. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff coming. I am a Spider-Man fan. My dude and your little man is
Marco,
Mr. Marco is a big old Spider-Man fan.
He just commissioned his mother to order his black Spider-Man Halloween costume. So
good stuff. I like it.
Yeah, he wanted to go the black Spider-Man this
year. So he's not only liking Spider-Man, but he's liking the black suited Spider-Man, which means that as he gets older, Uncle Dan can teach him about Venom.
He wants to watch that. I've been keeping him away from it.
Yeah, I probably would not have him watch Venom. Definitely not the new one.
Not yet. No.
But it's exciting. There's some good twists. You haven't seen it yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, there's two things that happen that I am happy with. That's what I will say. And one of them is like a deep cut. You have to be dedicated like I've been, or else you're going to miss it totally. Because it's something huge for me. But my buddy watched it with me, and I'm inevitably going to see it a bunch more times. But my buddy Rudy watched it. We watched it down in Disney the day it came out, and he looked at me and he goes, like, by your reaction, I know that this is important, but he had no idea what it meant. He goes, wait, why did that? I'm like,
Yeah.
you don't get it, but you'll get it.
Someday it'll be revealed, right?
Yeah. But Venom is finally, this one took some time to get going, but once it started to go, there's things that I like. It's not a bad movie, but there's things I would have done a little differently. You got to make Carnage. If you're going to make Carnage, you got to make him what he is, and he's a serial killer. You got to make him. Yeah. You got to make him bad. So.
Well, I'm going to keep Mark away from that as long as. Yeah,
don't watch that. Don't have him watch that. But to get all Marvel aside, to jump into this season, this is technically your 6th year and a day.
Yeah, I guess you could call it that.
Yeah. How do we look at this? I mean, this is year 7 for you.
Yeah.
But it's the 6th annual tip-off dinner because you couldn't do it last year due to COVID. You got to play a game last season and went undefeated.
Yeah.
And so how do you view it? Is it year 6? Is it year 7? What is it?
I think technically by NCAA we have to call it 7th.
Okay.
Yeah, because we had what we would call a season. It was an official game. We kept stats, and so one game or 25 it counts as a season. So this is 7.
This is year 7 for you.
Yeah.
So what did you learn from year 6?
That
from 18 months of craziness and one game.
Yeah, whatever I knew about adversity was totally unexpected. It changes every day, and what we went through last year was difficult. It was challenging, but it was a good test, I think, for us.
Yeah.
I think it was necessary for us to get in the gym and get some work in spite of whatever complications or challenges we faced. Practicing with masks on, no fans in the stands. Trying to, practice without a locker room, all those things that you take for granted. We learned a lot about our guys. Their mettle was tested. They persevered. They did well. We won the game, which is great. It would be a lot different if we were 0-1 versus 1-0.
Yeah.
But for those guys that were newcomers last year to get a chance to put that uniform on and get out there and have some real game experience, I think that was a big moment for us. It was a big help.
D3 kind of lived in a world of if you can play and you're in a state that has the protocol and the opportunity and the transmission rates down, you can attempt to, but it's if you want to practice, but you don't have to practice. Some teams practiced, some teams had games, some teams did nothing, some teams had 10 games, some teams had 1 game. So
some schools folded.
Yeah.
To be fair, you know, I mean, and that's the thing I think we had to do was we had to look at it on the bright side that at least we're getting a chance to do something, right? Yeah. 1 game, 10, 15, 25, whatever it is, we're going to get a chance to do something.
Yeah.
And that's hard, for these guys that come here and, they're working very hard to prepare for a season and they have the hopes and dreams that they're going to get a chance to see it through, play even a conference schedule, anything like that. That was thwarted, and the fact that they got a chance to do something when some schools and programs actually folded and no longer exist. We're grateful for that, but it was definitely hard to do, for sure.
How do you look at the landscape of collegiate athletics knowing that some schools lost their programs?
Yeah, it helps to put things in perspective. Sometimes we get caught up in the daily grind and day-to-day, nuances of coaching and training and all that, and you forget sometimes how grateful you are for the opportunity that you have to do this. We're all competitors, right? We're doing this because we love the sport, we love to compete, we want to have a chance to win. We always tell the guys, your 4 years goes by fast. Yeah. Don't take it for granted. Make the most of it. So if that didn't wake you up to make you understand that, that year almost completely being lost, I don't know what will. For the guys that experienced that last year, I think they understand time is of the essence, and time waits for no one. So we got to put the work in now.
Yeah, I think it really does put into perspective how you never thought you would lose anything, and some people lost a season, some people lost everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? I
Right.
mean, some schools just said, "Hey, you know what? We can't
absorb this. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can't absorb the cost of this, and without having the competitions and all that, it's a tough pill to swallow for some. And I feel for those programs and those coaches and those players, and like I said, just grateful for Marywood University and grateful that we're not in that position. We've been very fortunate in this.
And for you, we started off Pacer Pride, these spotlight specials with Marywood, with the executive director of athletics, Pat Murphy. What has he done as he steps in year 3 here to position Marywood to be successful and to be able to navigate through something like this? What did leadership look like?
Well, I mean, Pat was in contact with us throughout the whole pandemic and our time away from the building, and just kind of keeping us up to speed with what was going on. I think, while he gave us our freedom to do what we needed to do, he made sure it was known that we were supported. We were supported in this, and that, conversations that he was having with administration regarding athletics, that we were never really in danger like some of those other programs were. We were being, we were being pushed to the forefront, and recruitment, is such a big deal. And at the Division III level in any private school, athletics can make a major impact in recruiting. And we did that. I mean, we kept working, we kept, communicating with prospective student athletes, with coaches, AAU high school coaches. We kept doing our bulletin material, putting things out there, keeping our program relevant.
Yeah.
And it paid dividends for us. We brought in 8 freshmen this year, so we were very lucky to, while some schools struggled with the recruitment piece of it, we were a different story. We did really well.
How did you, speaking here with Marywood University men's basketball head coach here for the Pacers, Enrico Mastroianni, as well as a fantastic lounge singer at jazz clubs in downtown Scranton, and a fantastic polo player, which some people may not know, Marco Polo, actually, but with his son, fantastic at it. Marco's also a Rhodes Scholar for it. But so with all the things that Enrico does here, because you wear so many hats, you're not just a basketball coach, how did you successfully recruit during a pandemic?
Well, I actually just addressed this yesterday or Saturday with the staff that my staff was incredible. Coach Bruner, Zach Bruner, Zach's been with me. He's going into year 4 now, I believe, with us, and he just never wavered. I mean, I challenged him with, okay, here's a list of guys, and let's get involved. And it felt like every other day I was getting a new visit set up. We went through virtual recruitment.
Yeah.
We really changed. We morphed into a different style. Usually recruitment is very personal. It's face-to-face like this. It's at games, talking to parents and families after games, having on-campus visits, tours, overnight visits with the guys, anything we can do to try to make them more comfortable. But we couldn't do those things. So we had to find a different way. And instead of feeling restricted or cramped in it, we evolved. And I give Zach and Jim McAndrew a ton of credit. That Jim is now also an admissions counselor here at Marywood, and we really embraced the thought that we can recruit virtually. We can show the beauty of Marywood on a computer. It's not ideal. It's not the same as being here in person. When you walk on campus, you're overwhelmed at how amazing this campus is, and you wouldn't have known that if you didn't step foot on campus. But we did our part to try to demonstrate that online, on screen, almost as if we were in the living room, at home with that prospect.
How you're a people person. Mm-hmm. You're a very caring person. You show people that they matter. You're the reason why have been drawn to you the last 7 years is because of who you are as an individual, who you choose to be every day. How hard is it to not be able to shake dad's hand, hug a grandma when you're going into their homes, when you have to virtually recruit and you don't have that face-to-face interaction? Mom's not making her signature dinner for you. You're not sitting there joking around with grandpa watching a game. How strange and difficult has that been?
We don't typically get to do all those things at home. We do them here on campus mostly, but it is different, and it is. I do think that is one of our
human feeling.
Yeah, the human feeling of it is one of our definite I think one of our highest attractions. Right, we have that curb appeal. You bring them in, we talk, we get to know each other, we joke a little bit, we eat a meal together. We spend some time talking about the future and what it holds. And I think, those things when you're face to face and in person, that contact, that human contact interaction, it makes a big difference. So missing that was a big hole for us, a gap that we had to fill. And like I said, just, really lucky that parents and prospects were willing to do the online thing. It actually was time consuming. We put it in like it was a real visit. So sometimes it went 2 to 3 hours, and we would take 45 minutes on a tour, just like you would do a walking tour here. So we tried to make it feel as real as we could, as if we were face to face.
How do you successfully do it, though? I mean, you tell me you got 8 coming in. How do you get one, let alone 8 to say, hey, you know what, virtually, Enrico? Yes. I've seen it. I get it. How did you sell the message in a way where you couldn't have that hand-to-hand combat, I call it, where you get to actually be with them and sit with them? How did Marywood, don't give all your secrets away because I know there's people that are listening and watching, but how did you do it to the 8th degree?
I think, look, Dan, you know me long enough to know I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm an honest guy. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat anything for anyone. All of these guys are here under the same context. You have an opportunity, and the opportunity is something that exists everywhere, but this is what it is here for us. And if that feels right to you, we feel good about you, I think it could be a good match. There's not like a lot of science behind it. It's about being real with people. It's about telling the truth and holding, true to your word. And so we've done that. Now we're in practice and 4 practices in, and we're saying, okay, look, you have just as much opportunity as a senior does. This guy's going to have just as much opportunity as a returning junior does. It doesn't matter to me. If in the end of the day you can help our team win, you get a chance to play. That's how it works. And practice is your canvas. You get to show us what you can do. And if in practice you're struggling or things aren't going as well as you would hope they would go, we expect that. If we tell the guys every day, if it was easy, everybody would do it. It's not intended to be easy. It's intended to be difficult, so that when you get into the game, that part of it is easy. But if you're not mentally tough enough to come in and compete on that level, you're gonna feel that. You're gonna get overwhelmed when you get here. So, there's no secret in it. It's just about being real. It's about being human and having qualities that I think appeal to prospects. I think kids generally want to be coached, and they want to be coached hard. I exude a little bit of passion when I have conversations with prospects, like I do in the court, with the guys, and it's just something that I hope is a good feeling for them when they are picking in school.
Speaking here with Enrico Mastroianni in this Pacer Pride special on-site, on-location. Wake Up Call is here in the Cafe Kubal Travel Studios at Marywood University, overlooking the court. You got back on the court on Friday, October 15th, as many teams did across the nation for college basketball. What did it mean to you to step, albeit that you had a few practices and you had a game last year, what did it mean to you to step onto this court this time around with a full schedule and the notion, the hope that this will be a regular season?
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, the feeling was so much different than what it was a year ago, and not even a year ago, because we didn't play our game until I think it was March 29th. So we really didn't even have a traditional season. We had kind of a 3-week window. So it was incredibly different and yet familiar. It was a fun feeling to get back to normal, if we could say that. Shout out to Sister John Michelle, who came here at 6 a.m. to greet our guys and have a little prayer with us. That was awesome. Yeah. I challenged her to do that. I said, hey, first one, 6 a.m., you going to make it? And she said, oh, I'll be there. I said, oh, okay. I didn't really believe her, but she was here. Yeah, and, awesome. It was cool to huddle up and have a prayer and break the huddle and, really, get the guys to understand this is Marywood basketball. That was a really cool feeling.
When you say, I get chills. When you
Yeah.
say this is Marywood basketball, what is Marywood basketball?
TRT. That's our hashtag this year. That's what we're embracing this year. It's we're tough, resilient, and together. Everything we do, we're going to be tough in it. We're going to face adversity. We need toughness to do that. We're resilient. We don't quit. We play to the final buzzer no matter what. We're going to dive on that loose ball. We're going to take that charge even though our body's going to hurt when we hit the floor. And whatever we do, win or lose, we're going to do it together. So that's pretty much Marywood basketball. And, we have our cornerstones for success that are our foundation, but every year we feel like it's important for us to kind of fine tune and hone in on what's priority for us this year, and TRT is what it is.
Yeah, I think that's cool, and it's kind of an abbreviation for like turnt. So, I'm going to start using that. Get turnt. And I'm just going to have shirts about it. I think I should do that. Get some TRT in your life. So, tough, resilient, and together.
Yeah.
I like it. My mom said hello.
Hi, Mom. How are you?
So, Mom loves Enrico.
Great.
How's Jamie doing? How's the wife?
She's well.
Jamie Mastroianni. Jamie, I do my Jamie disclaimer every time we're on the show together. So,
All right, here it
Jamie, just so you know, I have much love for you. I appreciate you. You are the mother of 3 children that sometimes can be wild. You have this man in your house, which is a blessing.
And now we have a Bruno, too.
Yeah.
A golden doodle.
Oh, yeah, you do. You have a dog now, which Lily started that for you.
Yeah.
I think she did. But the reality of it all is, Jamie, I know that this is a very good man, as you know. And he's a very, very wonderful human being, a good friend, good husband, good father, and a good friend. Again, I'll say that, double down on that. So, I think as much as I joke with Jamie, and we all know that life can get crazy,
Sure.
Thank you for being an amazing mother to these children and to being a wife to a coach, which sometimes means that Enrico's working a 27-hour day. And I know Jamie works her own 27-hour days. So
Yeah.
I'm going to shout you out, Jamie, for being a trooper, for being amazing. And hopefully you and this man get to have some date nights or some fun. And Jamie, as I'll always do, and now I get to do it on camera, you better treat her right.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
well,
gonna say.
You don't have to tell me. She does every day. Don't worry.
Okay, all right. I have to do it on camera because
Yeah.
Jamie and I are like this. But I got you guys rigot pie.
Yeah.
So
that was awesome, by the way.
A little bit of that. So there could be that in the future. Maybe I could do that. Give you a little special one for date night or something like that. But how is life with Jamie? How is life with such a crazy household? It can get hectic.
It's busy. Yeah, it's busy. And, it's funny because we've been doing this now for how many years? Jamie's been with me from the start of my career. And yet every time we hit mid-October, we have to have this conversation about, by the way, I am in season now and I'm not going to be here for dinner this night and that night. And, so it's a little bit, it's always a little touch and go when it first starts, because a lot of weight is put on her shoulders, and she does take care of all of the kids and the driving and the transports, and now the dog to the groomer and to the vet, and it's a lot of stuff. And so I'm appreciative, obviously, and Jamie, thank you. I feel great about it. So thank you for everything. And
Jamie's got some personality.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
She's going to have some comments, I'm sure, for this one. So.
Oh yeah, but it's funny because Jason Leone said from Oswego State,
Yeah.
He says that his wife, the sign goes up
Yep.
in the house, and the sign actually says like this is the house of a single parent or
Well,
whatever. So
years ago, when I don't know if it was when I was a first-year head coach or when I was still an assistant, but Jamie and some of the other basketball wives and girlfriends got together and basically established the title Basketball Widow. They are basketball widows from October through March. So, she wears that. She wears that with a crown. So
okay, fair enough. Well, much love to Jamie. Jamie likes marble, doesn't she?
She gets into it. Yeah, she tries. Yeah.
Marco's super into it. What about the girls? And and Elena just had a birthday, right?
Elena had her birthday. She turned 11 last week, and
she looks like she's way older now.
I
It's very
know,
scary to
Dan,
me.
trust
I'm
me,
like,
I know.
I was like,
yeah.
she was like this little,
Yeah, no, they're wearing makeup now and everything. Yeah, it's tough.
That should not be allowed.
Tough being a girl dad, but
Yeah.
but it's beautiful too, and they're wonderful girls, and they're doing great in school and sports, and they're just they're a blessing, all of them. And
Well, shout out your other one.
yeah, Angelina, yeah,
Angelina, your oldest.
She's the oldest.
How old is Angelina now?
12.
Okay,
yeah.
so you got 12, 11, and
4.5.
okay.
Don't forget the half.
I was gonna make Marco a
Marco
little
will
bit
go
older.
Hulk smash on you. If you forget
Okay.
the half. Yeah,
4.5.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And the golden doodle.
Golden Doodle is 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
And what's his name again?
Bruno.
Bruno. Where did that come from?
The Disney movie Luca. Have you seen
Okay.
Luca?
I have not seen
Yeah,
Luca.
it's one of
so-
Marco's favorite movies, and
Yeah.
one of the things.
Probably because it looks like Marco.
Yeah, it
Luca
really
kinda
does actually.
so.
Yeah, so one of the lines is refers to a Bruno. So Marco and the family, we thought that was the best name.
Okay. All right. So shout out to the whole family.
Yeah.
I would love you all to write in and tell me how you feel about Enrico. but to go through this craziness, and to just every year outside of this last very interesting year that we had, what keeps you fresh, energetic, excited, into it? I do what I love what I do.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted. I really am. And I'm less tired than I was the last couple weeks, but for the last 2 weeks, I prayed to God. This is how this is real life, folks. I prayed to God. I was in the bathroom and I'm just kind of getting ready for my whatever. And I'm in the bathroom and I prayed to God to make my brain work because my brain was functioning. I was doing everything I needed to do, but I felt like I was on autopilot.
Yeah.
And, now I'm a little bit more rested, but what keeps you going? Because days get long, times get hard. Sometimes, you have a loss or two, you have a practice maybe doesn't go the way you want it to go, or, maybe you got things going on off the court. How do you stay so hungry?
Well, I think, and I'm going to try to transition to Lee Rubin and our tip-off dinner. Lee is our keynote speaker, and he was here on Saturday and spoke with our guys. And one of the things that he said to them, and it was his 5 C's talk, 5 C's of championship teams. And one of the things he talked about was being competitor, a competitor. You have to be a competitor. And I think he said, basically that's going to happen for the rest of your life, guys. In whatever job you're in, whatever relationship you're in, whatever friendships you're in, you're going to be a competitor for the rest of your life. If it's in you to be that way, that's what you are. And one of his mantras is, I love to win. Like he gets really into it. I love to win. I hate to lose, And I think that's just what it is. As a competitor, you don't want to have a day where you didn't give your best or you didn't do your best and you didn't win that day. One of the things we've been saying in this program here at Marywood for the time that I've been here is win every day. Win every day, whatever it is. If it's in the dining hall, pushing your chair and cleaning your table off right, saying please and thank you in line. Yeah. It's in the classroom, sitting up front, being attentive, taking that hood off, listening and responding, being engaged in the class, in study hall, on the court, in the weight room. You just win every day. If you win every day, you're going to be great. And sooner or later, you add up those wins, it should result in a championship. And that's what we're looking forward to. So that's what motivates me every day.
Is winning the day.
Winning the day.
You know, which is, and for you to, and for all coaches to have to go through these last 18 months to reflect, what is your biggest takeaway? You've recruited well. You recruited virtually. You're bringing in 8 guys. You're building the future of this team. You've had a lot of success. You've set records that have never been achieved at Marywood University for men's basketball before. You have a tip-off dinner that's been an incredible fundraising opportunity for you. You have brought so much to Marywood. What did this last 18 months bring to you on where you go from here?
Well, first and foremost, I think the reflections I had were about family, because I got to spend a lot of time with my kids and with my wife, and that was time that I had been missing, and I realized I can have both, and I'm trying still every day to be able to do both. Yeah. Even still, yesterday was a day that we were here for a morning practice. We had a staff meeting beforehand. We had practice. We had a staff meeting afterwards, preparing for the next day. And I was here, and the hours add up. And then I realized it's like 3 o'clock, and I'm still here. And maybe there's some things that I could do from home. And so I went home, and I spent some time with Marco, and the girls were off doing their thing, and Jamie had to do the running of the groceries and all that stuff. So Marco and I had some quality time together yesterday, and then when everything was said and done and everybody was ready to go to bed, I got back to work. But at least I was home for a few hours where it was us and them, me and them together, and those were times that in years past I would have just stayed here until 8 o'clock last night, and missed the day, and saw them to kiss them goodnight and get on to work the next day. So I think trying to prioritize that and get it back on track is really the most important thing that I learned.
Well, and I think too is it wasn't only God, please help us to appreciate the blessings we have, but it's God, please help us to appreciate the blessings we have once everything goes back to normal.
Right.
Because I think we all should have learned quality time and the importance of it, and good, proper health, healthy mind, healthy body, healthy mind, taking care of you. And then also, talking to mom, talking to dad, spending time with your brothers and your sisters and your friends. And maybe you could do a little bit more to be home with your girlfriend, to be home with your wife, to be home with your husband and, your fiance and this, that, whatever. So I think step one was to learn it first. Step two is to not forget.
Right. Sure. 100%. And not just the family at home, but, the extended network, and I still, wish I could be better at maintaining contact. Like I said, we haven't talked in a little while, right? It's been a couple weeks now. I wish I could still be better at maintaining contact with the extended network, the friends, the colleagues, but we made a concerted effort to still do that. I got back together, with my Penn State guys, my roommates from college, and now we're talking every Saturday, every football Saturday, we're talking about the game, but, it allows us to bring up other things that are going on in our lives and remember whens from the past that we've been missing on having those conversations. So just trying to get reconnected on a more personal level with everyone, I think, is important. And even with our players, I think we made a concerted effort. The staff collectively made a concerted effort through these past several months now that we were going to maintain contact with the guys, the virtual meetings, the phone calls, the text messages, the group me messages, just making sure that everybody is transparent in their communication. So we've been really lucky to stay connected.
And I think I think it's important. I mean, it's beautiful, the fact that you're working on this, because it isn't something that a coach typically does. And I've learned in my world, I'm thinking like, oh wow, coaches, players got to do all this stuff. And then as a broadcaster and a business owner, I'm like, I feel like you guys. I will work until 11:30 and be staring at the computer going, I've been sitting here for like 14 hours. I didn't eat dinner yet, and it's 11:30. Right. I didn't take a shower. My dog's looking at me like, Dad, will you do anything with me right now? And then you're feeling bad. I didn't call this person back. I didn't do this. So it is imperative to not only learn it, but remember it, and that it feeds your soul, right. Seeing your aunts and your uncles and your parents and grandparents, for those of you out there that are blessed to have that opportunity. I look at it and I say to myself, in my relationships, I want to be present.
Right.
And what that means is I don't want my phone out. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be I mean, I don't want to do that. And I think, I don't know, I've learned so much from this, because you're a coach, I'm not, yet we live in a very, very, very similar world. And when you demand greatness from yourself, it also teaches you that you have to work smarter, not harder. Mm-hmm. And I've had to learn how to work smarter. And these last 2 years has really taught me, the last 3 years has really taught me, you can get it all done. You could do some good things, or you can wait on this until tomorrow. But if you want to be a boyfriend, and you want to be a friend, and you want to be a son, and you want to be a dad to a little awesome pup, you got to be purposeful.
Yeah, no, you're right, and I think those are lessons that we tend to forget when we're in the hustle and bustle of daily life. So the pandemic shook us up, woke us up a little bit maybe, and hopefully we don't forget to keep doing those things.
It was a wake-up call.
See how we did that there?
There you go. Enrico Mastroianni, Marywood men's basketball head coach here for the Pacers. This is Pacer Pride. You will see us every single month with Marywood University in our multimedia marketing partnership. You also see them on our social media, Facebook at WakeUpCallDT, Twitter at CallDT, Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT. They have their own page on WakeUpCallDT.com, YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT. You could just search Pacer Pride on my channel and find it there. So many great things coming up, as well as PA announcements during the games. You'll hear about Wake Up Call, and you'll get to see some signs coming up here around. So Marywood, synonymous with Wake Up Call and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media, Dan Tortora Broadcast Media, and Wake Up Call, synonymous with my alma mater of Marywood University. What do you think about the multimedia marketing partnership?
I'm excited. I'm thrilled for you and for us. I think it's a great partnership. It makes sense. Obviously, you know, we know your love and you know, your connection to Marywood. I think that speaks volumes in everything that you do, and you know, it's great to have your voice out there speaking about the good things that we're doing here and just letting people know. I think that's the biggest thing is, you know, there's a story to be told here. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of excitement and energy. And, you know, if they're not looking for it, sometimes people might miss it. So it's nice to have a voice out there extending that message for us.
And I think it's cool when people say, "Oh, wow, it's the best kept secret." And I'm like, well, why would you want to keep it a secret?
Right.
So, I mean, I guess that's my tagline is, okay, Marywood might have been the best kept secret, but I don't want to keep it a secret anymore. You know, I want to tell people. And Marywood changed my life. It's where I started my career. I started my first ever broadcast MU courtside here with the Marywood men's and women's basketball team. And to do that and to now reflect all these years later, in November, I'll hit 18 years of being a broadcaster. In June of next year, I'll hit 10 years of running my own company. And it all started on these grounds of Marywood University with my education here, with my love for sports here, and with the fantastic people that I've met along the way. Marywood University, when I see this Pacer, it gets me amped, it gets me pumped, it gets me energized, it gets me excited. It's something that I love. And I think, you know, when you love something, it's so easy to talk about. And so I think, you know, to Sister Mary Persico and to, you know, Ann Boland Chase, to Pat Murphy, to everybody that was a part of all of this, to all the coaches and the student athletes, I need you all to know that my dedication to Marywood will never cease because it's from my heart.
Right. And we feel it. And, you know, I've been feeling that for a long time with you, obviously. So I'm not surprised that, you know, you're going to do great things for us here. And this was a nice surprise today. So Thank you.
Yeah, I like to put out there yesterday, I'm like, surprise. Also, Jacksonville had to go to another country to win a game, so yay. But I jokingly said it, but kind of meant it, and then it happened. Before I let you go, coming up very soon here, October 30th, right before Halloween, right before Marco gets to embark on what life is like as the black-suited Spider-Man, we will be here in the community with the 6th annual tip-off dinner featuring Marywood University men's basketball. And you have tasked me with something incredible to build a little history. Enrico gave me my first ever opportunity to be a keynote speaker, which I didn't think I deserved. My response to you was, I think Bob Costas is a keynote speaker. So that meant the world to me. Lily got to be there. That was cool. And so that meant so much to me a few Novembers ago, October, Novembers ago. And then I got the opportunity a couple years back to do the first ever Marywood Media Day, which, you know, I go to these ACC tip-offs, and your tip-off dinner, I said, well, if I watch the Atlantic Coast Conference do it, and I watch, you know, the American Athletic and all these places do it, then why can't Marywood have it?
Right.
And we did an on-stage broadcast with your team and you. I see the post, and, you know, Enrico said, hey, you want to be involved? I said, absolutely. Well, I get to do Media Day again, so there's never been a first, and now there is. There's never been a second, and it's coming. But I got an honor that I've never, ever had before again, and I will be making history on October 30th when I was asked to MC the event. And as I told my lady, I said, that means that, I was like, you know when you go to a comedy show and that guy or woman sets people up the whole night? I said, I'm literally like master of ceremonies for the night, which I genuinely don't have words for the fact that you even think that I deserve that. So thank you for that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
super. I was like, you know what, Enrico and I just keep making history, and you keep giving me these blessings that I'm taking, to my heart forever. And it sets the bar really high when you know someone like Enrico. So the next time somebody asks me to be an MC, I'd be like, who am I dealing with? But I'm very honored.
Well, we're honored to have you, and I couldn't think of anybody else that would be just as good at this as you, with your passion and your comedy. We'll allow it a little bit. Try not to crush me too bad. My guys are going to be there watching this.
Yeah,
so,
we're gonna have fun.
But I think it's what we've been doing with this tip-off dinner, and the reason why I wanted to make sure that we had the right people in place is we've been building it towards being such a special event. And I was talking with one of our parents yesterday about it, and just that this, most teams at the end of the year, they have a banquet, they celebrate the season. I don't want to wait for that. These guys have been working so hard. They've been here in the summer working camps for us. They come in the preseason on their own. They're motivated. They're dedicated. They're putting in their hours. 6 a.m. open gyms. Weight rooms sessions 4 times a week. They're working really hard. So why not celebrate them right now? Let's get this season started off right. So I want to make this event the go-to event, the one that you don't want to miss. And with an MC like you and a keynote speaker like Lee Rubin, and with all of our players and their families and our community coming out to support us, I think it's going to be a really special night. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I need to know the parameters of. But I'm very excited. I've never emceed before. I obviously have been a host of a show for almost 18 years in some respect, but it's, from courtside to the Dan Tortora show, which started down the road at 6:30 a.m., 12:40 a.m. and 96.1 FM, ESPN, Time Shamrock. What's up? How y'all doing?
There you go.
So, but yeah, and then to Wake Up Call. But I'm excited because, I've watched the roast of Justin Bieber, and Kevin Hart was the host, and Snoop was on there, and Martha Stewart, and Shaq. So, I'm doing my research.
This is not a roast event, just so you know. This is a dinner, celebratory dinner.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
Well, I'm gonna have you sit up there for
we
a couple
can do the
minutes.
roast another time. This
Okay.
Is,
We're gonna have an Enrico roast. We'll put Enrico up there for a little while. I'll equalize it. I'll bring somebody else. Bring your assistant. Where is Chris Stefano? Can we pull him in?
We're gonna have to try to see if he's willing to come to the dinner now. He's not on the staff anymore.
Yeah,
so,
well, it must be nice to be retired at the ripe age of how old is he?
46.
Yeah. What's he doing now?
Maybe.
Does he have like a deer farm somewhere?
He's fishing. He referees football and basketball.
Okay.
So he's enjoying that.
Nice.
He's spending time with his family. He's enjoying life.
Which is great.
Yeah.
So hard for a 46-year-old.
Yeah. No, he's doing well.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. Maybe we could roast Chris a little bit.
We could if he arrives. Yeah.
We'll make sure we do something. No, but it'll be a great event. We appreciate everybody. Is there still opportunity? Are we packed up or what's
No,
it?
we have room. Yeah.
Okay.
We close registration on Friday. This Friday.
Right after my birthday.
Yeah. So
October 21st is my birthday.
Yeah.
October 22nd registration closes. So make sure that you get there. The links will be shared on our social media.
Yeah. No, and we've put it on our social media posts as well, and in our Instagram bio and Twitter bio. I believe it's there. Facebook, it's all over our page. There's an event page. But yeah, it's a special event. It's a way to help celebrate our guys, kick off a good season for us. Wish us well, and like I said, hear a great speaker like Lee Rubin, which we're grateful that Lee is willing to come up here and do this for us. And former Penn State football captain, he's won championships in high school, and he's just a great, intelligent, motivational speaker, full of energy, and our guys really benefited from his talk with them on Saturday. So he wanted to, and that was not part of the deal, coming up to be the keynote speaker. He wanted to come up and meet the guys and get to know them and speak with them before the dinner, because he wanted to make sure that they had a relationship built in advance of that. So just an incredibly, I don't even know how to say it, just special person. Lee is amazing.
Lee Rubin, very excited to have you at this year's tip-off dinner. Let everybody know the time, the location, what we're expecting here.
Yeah, so it's Saturday, October 30th at 5 p.m. Cocktail hours 5 to 6, and then 6 o'clock we'll start the dinner event.
Cocktail hour.
Yeah.
We are very. When Enrico brought the tip-off dinner here, we were doing this. And then we just kept doing this. And then Corona was like, I hate you all. And we paused. And now we got a cocktail hour.
Yeah.
That's like, I want to get a shirt that says, take that, Corona. And on the back it says cocktail hour for Marywood. I like this. I feel like I'm going to a wedding. Yes. 5 to 6 cocktail hour. Then we have dinner.
Right.
Got the keynote speaker. Have media day now. Have an MC.
Yeah.
We are
It's
building.
going to be a special event.
I'm very excited. Where's it going to be?
It's at Inn of the Abingtons
Okay.
in Waverly, which
Okay.
is probably like 20-25 minutes from campus.
Yeah.
So, and it's a beautiful venue. It's going to be a nice, well done event. It is a semi-formal event. I'll have a suit jacket on and tie optional. Maybe we'll see. But I've recommended our guys all wear a shirt and tie, and it's going to be a fun experience for them, especially for the freshmen and sophomores now, because the sophomores didn't get to experience this last year.
Yeah.
So for the freshmen and sophomore, that makes up about 13 of our roster. So there's a large percentage of our roster that's never seen this before, and I'm excited for them to see what kind of a feeling they get from this.
Tip-off dinner, Saturday, October 30th, in Waverly, in the Inn at the Abingtons.
The Abingtons, yep.
Very excited. Enrico Mastroianni and the Marywood men's basketball team will be featured, celebrated, promoted, and I will be there. Lee Rubin will be there. Enrico will be there, which is all that matters. And you need to make sure you make your way out. And you can meet. Are the children coming?
The children will be there, yeah.
So Marco is coming, Angelina's coming, Elena, Jamie will
Yeah,
be there.
yeah.
You get to meet the famous Jamie.
Our staff will be there, and
The whole staff,
We'll
yeah.
get to introduce our newest staff member, our newest assistant coach, Michael Latrella, who joined us this year. You got a chance to golf with Mike at our golf
I did
outing.
get to. Yeah.
And special guy, and of course Joe Picarello is on again for the 7th season with us. So we're really excited about those guys, and we're also excited that hopefully some Marywood administrators will be there. We've extended some invitations, so we'll have a great night. It'll be fun.
Tip-off dinner Saturday, October 30th, cocktail hour from 5 to 6, and then dinner, and a whole lot of fun here in Northeast PA, which I could not be more excited to be a part of. Thank you for the honor again. Enrico Mastroianni. Enrico, final note here. How would you describe this year's 2021-2022 men's basketball team? 8 incoming players for you, as well as what returns your staff that has, as you stated, stayed with you and evolved. How would you describe this year for Marywood men's basketball?
I think it's going to be exciting. I think we're going to play an exciting style of basketball. I think we have a lot of talent. Our young players are very talented. Our older players obviously have some ambition and some motivation to finish this off the right way. I think we're looking for a tremendously competitive experience this year. We don't know wins and losses, but if you don't approach every year expecting to win a championship, then you shouldn't be doing this. So we're looking forward to some lofty goals.
I would be remiss if I didn't remind you that when Brendan Murphy asked me to come back for the second time for MU courtside and return to my first baby, I said during one of your games when you were not enjoying the officials, nor was I, that, and not because I went to school at Marywood, but because, and I'm not going to name names because I don't do that, but they were terrible. We can say that. I can say that and not get sued. They were horrible. So I can't get fined, right? Nothing can happen to me?
I don't know what you're talking about.
They were awful. So Enrico thought they were fantastic. I thought they were terrible. So anywho, so I had said on the show on MU courtside, I said, in honor of Enrico, since he cannot do this, I will throw a chair onto the court. I'm a man of my word, and Brendan reminded me I have not thrown a chair. So it doesn't have to be during a game, obviously, but I owe you a chair throw.
Okay.
I don't know if I have to do it in practice or what I need to do, but I have to throw a chair inside of Marywood University's court here. I have to live up to my word.
Well, we'll see if you have to. I would bet that Pat would rather you didn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I could throw one and you can catch it, and it doesn't hit the ground.
We'll figure something out.
We'll figure something out.
We'll
But
put a mat down on the floor.
I got very animated because that's what I do, and I love officials. I am very close with Mike Kitts. I love Brian Kersey. There's a lot of great guys out there. Dennis Hennigan, shout out to you. And, we have some that have passed on as well. I just, in that moment, on that day, had some thoughts.
Yeah.
And
it happens to the best of us sometimes.
yeah, and Enrico, bless his heart, he was the kindest, gentlest, person out there, and was just nice and didn't shake his head, didn't get red in the face. Nothing fazed him.
Nope.
But for whatever reason, I was upset.
Even keel the whole
I
time.
like seeing your animation. I also like when you're silent, and I feel like we've known each other long enough and we've built enough of a bond and a friendship that I can read your brain. So I looked at Brendan at one point and I go, oh, I know what he's thinking right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's very clear to me. And he can't say it, but I can. It's all good.
One more shout out before I forget.
Yeah.
It just hit me, and I don't want to miss it. But today is 23rd birthday for our alum, all-time leader in assists, Mr. Donovan Catchings. So happy birthday to Don.
Yeah.
And wish you were back for that final season. Unfortunately, COVID interfered, and we moved on and graduated. But we wish you the best and happy birthday, and keep going, Captain. Appreciate you.
And Enrico is so very devout in making sure that we remember everyone's birthday. So I cannot wait for what's happening this Thursday. But to Donovan Catchings, happy birthday. Shout out to being an October baby, a fellow Libra. So, and Donovan Catchings, I got to be around him, got to know him a little bit. So shout out to you. And I remember your record-setting performances and moments. So very happy for you and happy birthday. I hope it's the best one that's been thus far. So
Donovan graduated along with a couple of his teammates, and all they've ever known is playoffs. That's it. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Under this guy, who's super humble, but he's done a good job here at Marywood. This has been a Pacer Pride special, a surprise special. We had our first one with Executive Director of Athletics, Pat Murphy, and then we decided to underpromise and overdeliver and not only get another special, but to do it on the heels of practice starting for basketball and right before the tip-off, and to be on site on location with Jen Carleton and Enrico Mastroianni. And I may have some more tricks up my sleeve. Who knows? Some other things could be happening. But no matter what, you'll see me Saturday, October 30th. I'll be the guy making this guy red in the face as the MC of the Tip-Off Dinner 6th Annual. I'm kidding. We're going to have a great night. It's going to be fun. And I'm very, very much looking forward to the opportunity to get out with one of the best in the business. And I'm really... You're building something here that is, I think the best compliment I can give to it is whatever people think D3 is, be prepared for what it's going to become.
I appreciate that.
That's what I would say.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan.
Enrico Mastroianni, Dan Tortora, Pacer Pride. We're going to take a final step aside for all y'all on YouTube. We'll end it here on Facebook, and we'll continue it on MixLR as well. Enrico, thank you as always.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate
Thank
you very much.
Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there, and of course you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100, and also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout Central and Upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox. As a patient, what do we want? To be cared for, to be listened to, and to have someone walk us through the process on our path to victory. Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics does all of those things beautifully, with Dr. Mark Petropoli leading the team on 791 West Genesee Street in Skaneateles, New York, located minutes from beautiful Skaneateles Lake. Whatever your injury may be, from head to toe, preventative care, rehab, physical therapy, laser therapy, and surgery are all available at Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, where they care about us, they listen to us, and they understand that everyone's path to victory is a little bit different. Let them help you on yours by calling 315-685-7544 to make your appointment today. That's 315-685-7544. And find out more information at victorysportsmedicine.com.
Cafe Cabal Mobile Cafe brings the cafe experience to you. We'll roll out to your neighborhood or office, ready to serve our locally crafted espresso bar to our loyal patrons. Inquire at cafecabal.com. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
This is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, located on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, is home to over 40 flavors with more than 200 flavors in their total wheelhouse. Sky's the limit for this sweet and savory Central New York company. Keep it local at your parties, fundraisers, wedding showers, baby showers, and more by calling 315-450-MA-PA. That's 315-450-6272 for popcorn bars with custom flavors and colors at your upcoming event. Make sure to visit them on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. And for more information, go to maandpassnacks.com. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
Here at Progressive Dental, we understand the importance of regular dental visits and preventive care. Cleanings and checkups are essential to good oral health. We have multiple locations in the Southern Tier, so come visit us in Binghamton, Enwell, Kirkwood, Montrose, and Norwich. For self-pay non-insured patients, we offer the Smile Plan, which covers all of your cleanings, x-rays, and exams for an affordable yearly price. Call 607-754-2273 or 607-754-CARE to make an appointment today. For more information, visit our website at progressivedentalny.com.
The Millhouse Market, located on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, is worth the drive every time. Make sure you make your way out to the Millhouse Market today and download their app on your way, where you'll have their homemade breads, desserts, quinoa bowls, rice bowls, salads, brick oven pizzas, and the sandwiches they named after the families that helped to settle today's Pulaski. Ingrained in our taste buds and ingrained in our community, they are an essential part of Central and Upstate New York. So make sure you find your way out to the Millhouse Market today. And we appreciate y'all for going out there to 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York. And the final note here on the Lemoyne Dolphins here is to tell you, fins up. Make sure you check out Lemoyne College every single Wednesday at Dolphin Time. Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. You'll be able to find your Lemoyne College Dolphins here, with the first and third Wednesday being AD and DT with Athletics Director Bob Beretta and myself, Dan Tortora. And the second and fourth Wednesday, Dolphin Dive, where we feature a student athlete, coach, and or staff member and tell their stories. And of course, folks, in this very, very special day for us here, we have the beauty of shouting out Pacer Pride as Marywood University here with us in this very special signature bonus edition of Pacer Pride on-site on location at Marywood University. And you can make sure to stay connected to the Marywood Pacers on WakeUpCallDT.com on the Marywood page. On that page, once you click on it at the top of the website, you'll be able to click on the composite schedule to know everything that's going on with the 20-plus athletic programs that we have at Marywood University. You'll also be able to see videos like this and all of our specials as we continue to build on what Marywood University is and what Marywood University can become. Pacer Pride is an everyday thing. It's about winning every single day, as Enrico shared with us, and we look forward to winning with you. And we look forward to all of our future Pacers donning green and gold right here with Marywood University, and we can't wait to see you here on campus. So in the meantime, we ask you to have a fantastic day. Find us on social media, Facebook at WakeUpCallDT, Twitter at CallDT, and Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT. And as always, God bless, no stress, do your best. We'll talk with you soon. For now, for Enrico Mastroianni, Jen Carleton, and all of Marywood University, thank you so much for being a part of this special.